Good morning. I mean, good evening. Good evening. Is there anybody there? That's what I need to know. Is there anybody there? I'm definitely here. But is anybody else here? It's lonely here. But anyway, I'll have my cup of tea, usual routine, while there are tumbleweeds. Maybe have a bit of a tidy round. Aha. I need to get the chat up, don't I? Excellent. So do say hello. Hi, Tyler. How is it going? Good to see you on here. You've subscribed to this channel before, haven't you? If you haven't, please subscribe. That would be amazing. But great having you here. And it's quite exciting because normally what happens is when I started these live shows, initially what it was all about was just giving people a look into me making music for my band McRocklin Hutch, and there is Troll. And I've been doing that for ages. And what actually is sort of happening now is I'm doing the odd sort of evening lives, which are similar sort of thing. You get to see me making music, but I talk a lot about music and creativity. So creativity and mainly the inner game of what it's like being a musician. You see me on the McRocklin channel, yeah. So this is my thing. So the other thing about sort of like this channel, a lot of it is about music coaching as well. So I am a music coach. I run two music coaching groups, and as I always say, anybody who likes what they see about sort of my process, the way that I talk about music, the insights that I give out, you're more than welcome sending me an email if you're interested, and we can have a quick one-to-one call about stuff. What's my opinion on Strandboy guitars? I played one once, twice, and the first time I thought it was really weird. The neck, I wasn't expecting it, but then the second time I played one, it felt a lot better. So they're good, a guitar's a guitar, isn't it? Personally, I'm an endorsee of Kiesel, and this is my main weapon. I've got other ones back there, but this is my favourite thing. The Osiris. It's a wicked piece of kit, this. But so this evening, apart from like talking lots, what I thought I would do is be messing about with live looping. So me and Thomas had just decided that would kind of get into a bit of live looping, and we both have different sort of ways that we're setting things up. Because when you got guitars, it's a little bit different than just doing like sort of just straight ahead synths and vocals and stuff, because you've got foot pedals and all this kind of stuff going on, and it's all kind of down to how you set your template up. That's so cool. Is that true? That can't be true. That's just brilliant. Hold on. Oh, where's my thing gone? Oh, there it is. Just a bit big, isn't it? So what's that? My TikTok video of me playing a Strandberg got taken down because it was a dangerous weapon. I've never heard such a thing. It's incredible, isn't it? It must be like just AI doing that, surely. That's so funny. Have they allowed it back up since? Oh, it is sad, yeah. I'm gonna tune my guitar. So I'll as you're on here nice and early, I'll show you about a bit what's going on here. This is going to be the virtual studio tour. Well, that's good that you got it back up. That's cool. Yeah, try a Kiesel. Yeah, that's funny. So anyway, live looping. So there's been a bit of a those of you who are my regulars, my push has shrunk. Now I've put my mini over here, and that's just like now for playing in notes and stuff, and I've got my keyboard down here. But at the heart of all of this, if we come over to this way, you can see I've got the push here. And this is really cool because providing everything decides to work. Of course, I never tried any of this out. What I've got is loads of different channels of guitar set up. So there's my ambient channel, and then if I push a button here, we've got a bit of the guitar bass. What's this? Clean. So the streaming software I am using is Ecamm. Love Ecamm. So we've got a clean channel. We've got the heavy octave with obviously polychrome pitch. So melodies and my main shred tone. Whoops. Where am I? And that's my shred tone. We've got a bit of a synth thing going on here. So there's a few of the tones, and then the rest of it I've got set up. It's just we've got some synths. It's a nice chord, that, isn't it? So yeah, I've got various sort of synth stuff set up, and that's about it, really. I think we're pretty much good to go. I think the only thing lacking now is ideas, isn't it? Right, where am I? Node, fail. Right, what's that? So I think I'm going to start with my ambient. So I used Resstream. Never heard of that one, but loop switched on. Oh, cool, yeah. And then sort of my live software, my choice of DAW is Ableton Live, so we can see that here. You know, and if anybody asks any questions about what am I using, this is this evening's template that I've made. So there's quite a bit going on under the hood, and we can have a look at that at some point. That would be cool. But the main thing is, does it work? Does it loop? That's the thing. So I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm going to have my tea first. Yes, it works. Bit of bass in there. Okay. Right, how's that? Right, how's that for a bit of live looping? I think it works. This is like the first official live looping date that I've had. How am I doing? Tell you what, I'm having a lot of fun here. Oh, thanks for the fire, troll. Right, I'm trying to think what's been happening since my last stream. What was it? When was my last stream? It was Monday morning, wasn't it? No, was it? Tuesday morning. Have I done 2 streams? Or 1 stream? Oh, hi Adrian. Can't remember. What day is it? It's Wednesday today. So must have done Tuesday. Yeah. Anyway, going quite well. So basically, the key to it is I've got at this stage nothing on my feet. It's all been operated off. When I'm dropping myself in on guitar, it's all this. It's all happening on the push, which is good. I'm glad I've got it set up here because I think it makes this scene look really nice. And this is like the behind the scenes sort of thing, isn't it? And then this is the stage. So I'm really pleased with that. I mean, of course, I'll be reviewing myself. The usual review process of wins, problems, and opportunities. But yeah, it's going well. How's it sounding? Your end? Is it sounding all right? I think the levels are quite hot here, but it's all right. There's nothing like clipping too much. But I think like obviously I'm going to do a few of these kind of jams tonight. And the idea is what I'll do is I'll just keep them and I'll just mix the levels as best I can, sounding really good. So I'll just mix the levels. I mean, actually, Troll, the interesting thing about how I came about this template, and I have to plug the music coaching, right? Because like I need some people to join. But actually, where this template came from was the idea of making your unique instrument, or in other words, seeing your DAW as an instrument in itself. And then the idea was what could you use that would be simple and insightful, but also be able to go very, very deep. And initially, the limitations were beats +3. So you had your drums, you have a bass, you have a lead instrument, some sort of mid-range chord type thing or whatever. And then what you do is every time you write music on it, and the idea is when we're writing music, the initial, when you sit down and you write something, the idea, it's called a splurge, right? Or Rick Rubin calls them seeds, right? And what you want to do is you want to be writing that music and you want it to be as much of an insightful performance as you possibly can, because that's where, the best ideas are. They're in our subconscious and we need to get there. So my first initial process of writing music, like when I'm jamming here, is the splurge is like a free write. I'm trying to just kind of throw stuff out there that's trying to come from the subconscious, really. And to do that, you have to be non-judgmental. So I'm not thinking about anybody or anything. My brain's not traveling on a timeline where I'm thinking about the past or the future. I'm just very, very much in the moment. And I do find that when you're in that state, that's when you make your very, very best music. That's definitely unique to you. That's definitely combinations of ideas that you or other people have never thought about, if that makes sense. So that initial sort of studio writing template, which wasn't purely like a looping thing. I mean, there's obviously lots of starting and stopping and recording and things like that, but it's as close to a studio performance as you can get. And then if people who aren't regulars, when you watch me write music on a live, it's usually very, very quick. But anyway, I kind of used that as a starting template, because one of the rules that I gave myself when doing sort of like these lives and the studio lives was, how could I have a sound that almost sounded produced, almost like the finished article, and those ideas I've kind of brought into this live looping. So, like, one of the things you'll see happen here, without boring everybody to do death, is if I play the first bit here. So if I look at this ambient guitar, right, I've got like an SSL EQ, and all I've got macroed is the high pass low pass filter. So if I switch this down, it's like really woolly and loads of low end on there. But I can just take that away, and there's the fat gone. Like here, this clean guitar. The cool thing about the McRocklin suite, actually the Kiesel Hyper Rig, is and on the McRocklin, is the high pass and low pass filters are totally optimized for guitar. So it's great just to, you can roll that low end and get rid of all that muck, but not actually destroy the sound, making it sound really thin. See this high pass and a low pass filter. The low pass filter, I can take all that sizzle off and make this sound like it's in the background. So there's a lot of things you can do like that. Which is all very cool. But I don't want to bore up people too much. But as I go, do ask questions about this live loop, and if you thought about live looping yourself, you don't necessarily have to do this. But I did do quite a bit of research. Hi Josh, how you doing? Let's catch up on the chat. So Adrian, cool, sounded really good. Thank you. Oh wow, what you doing now? I'm live looping, Mac. It's the future. I'm trying to interfere with my production. I am. You could put me in the background and maybe, the minute I'm in the key of E minor, so just write an E minor and you can sync with me. I'm just doing sort of like low tempo stuff. Yeah, I'm good, Josh. Right, I think I like the McRocklin plugin more than the Kiesel, but they're both great. Right, well, I really like the... Yeah, so I mean, literally, it's just the live thing, right? So I'm gonna start making some more stuff in a minute. But it's great to have you on here. I can't remember if I've seen you on here before, but I'll tell you what'd be really good. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe. That would be great. And there's also the Discord link, which I think is in about this channel. You can join the Discord and talk about stuff, mainly music. Can we hear the loop? Yeah, so I've just been, I started with that. then that's basically, you know, that's how I've been rolling. Your style is a trip, because you seem to pluck occasionally with your middle finger. That's wild to me. Yeah, man of culture. I'm classically trained, you know. I have a master's in music fine art. How about that? And a one in curating audio art. Could you believe? No, that's true. It's a true fact. Now look at me. Shredding. So, in fact, I remember, like, you know, the lecturer, the head senior lecturer of the course, she went, "Well done, you're educated now, but you'll find you'll go back to your rock roots." All right, let's talk guitars then, as I'll tell you what's going on here. I was talking about this the other day, but in short, what's happening with my technique is I used to be a typical Paul Gilbert wannabe alternate picker, outside picking motion. Then the Troy Grady stuff came along, and then I got quite good at inside-outside picking. So that's like my outside picking. And that's my inside picking. But it wasn't really cutting it for, like, sort of licks that had odd group notings. Now, odd groups of notes on them. All right, so, like, you know, if you're playing something that had 3 notes and 2 notes or something like that, Thomas is incredibly good at doing those really awkward, tight, alternate picking, pentatonic sort of stuff where there's weird numbers of notes on them. And I went down that route for a bit, and I really didn't enjoy the fact that when I came to playing those licks in an improvisation sort, like, kind of scenario, I would have to think about it, premeditate it, and then try and brace myself to navigate through those tight turns. And I just hate that feeling. I just wanted my guitar playing with me being really, really relaxed. When I do, like, legato, which is sort of like this sort of bit of my playing that I'm probably more noted for, when I'm doing my legato stuff, I'm very sort of relaxed. But the alternate picking thing was quite, although I'd say relaxed, but very sort of aggressive. And I wanted something that would be much more dynamic. So I ended up turning to economy picking. And I was a bit economy picking ignorant, I suppose, simply because I thought it was just a lighter picking technique, and I would lose that sort of aggression that I was getting with my alternate picking. But actually that just wasn't the case. And actually, when you're doing when you're doing economy picking, it's actually, there's more dynamic range there, is what I find. So when I'm playing, you can hear that's me really picking hard. yet my hand's really relaxed, my right hand. And I'm flowing through those strings. You can hear how hard I'm picking each note there. But the cool thing about it is you're picking in one direction. So once you get used to it, it's easy to get those hard string note groupings sorted. So, I'm doing like 3-1-3 pentatonic scale there. So I've got 3 notes, 1 note, 3, 1. And you can hear there, it's being quite aggressively picked. Hi, Anime, how you doing? And hi, Mansoor, how are you doing? Good to see you on here. Listen, guys, hi, man, do I kick back? Oh, I'm not sure. But anyway, so basically the picking, there's the displacement side of it, which is just pushing the pick through the strings, and that's what gives me the harder attack. So the first part was just doing, the economy picking thing. And then the rest of it, Mech, was just bringing hybrid picking in, because that was the best way I could think about, again, efficiently crossing the strings, lowering the noise of the guitar, and being able to do really easy do string skipping stuff. Oh, I'm not sure what you mean. Anime. Sorry. All right. So I think what we'll do is, why don't we pick a different drum? Some different drums. Let's see what we got. We'll pick something. What have I got? Not bad. Weird. Let's try this one. Interesting. God, some of the stings I make. I was quite into Dark Garage the other day. Give it a go. That's pretty cool. Oh, you're from Turkey? Fair enough. Sorry, I can't speak Turkish. Never mind. I used to live in Istanbul, by the way, back in the day. So I used to play in a Turkish rock band, believe it or not. Anyway, and I used to play in a band called Bad Luck, of all things. Unbelievable. Oh, there's Stelly. How you doing, Stelly? Right, so let's get back to this. So I suppose if you're in doubt and you don't know what you're doing, like me, you can just start putting some weird noise in. That's cool, that. The push is there, steady. Yeah, it's coming together. I don't have a television, so I don't know who you mean. How are we doing for time? What time is it? I'm getting carried up. God, it's been an hour already. Right. I think it's time for a cup of tea, isn't it? Let's go to the tea garden. There we go. I'll get the chart. Right. Are we okay chilling out here for a bit? Oh, So there you go. This is the backstage look. There's the push behind me. So I know Stelly was wondering about that. So that's where it's gone. It's gone there for me to do live looping. I'll catch up on the chat. Right, so Walking Dead. I look like the guy from Walking Dead. I hope he's good looking. Is he handsome? Yeah. Get the missus on with vocals. It's an idea. Maybe not for this stuff. However, there's a number of tunes. Actually, her voice is a little bit rough at the minute because she's had a really bad cold. So it's a bit, which is not operational at the minute. But we've got like quite a few ideas on the go that I'm working on, and I don't know if anybody's seen it, but we've got a Halloween release coming out on the 27th of October. Just catching up. So we're doing that. Animate, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I was trying to say to Animate, but I was like preoccupied with other things. I used to live in Turkey as a rock star. I do actually look a bit like him, and he is handsome. Thank you. Thank you, man. So I'm assuming that's what you're saying there. Norman Reed is his name. She would take over the stream. Yes, she would take over the stream. She would, yeah. I mean, she's absolutely come flying out the gate on the Freakstar channel. She'll literally make a video about anything, stepping out the door and tripping over. She'll do, there's some content, and I'll relate that to the band. I tripped over and thought of a song idea. It's all happening. Literally everybody who's been involved in any shape or form of this band has been kidnapped, brought down here, and made to do an interview. So I had an animation guy. He did 2 interviews with us. The photographer who did our photo shoot, she ended up doing an interview. I was reluctantly kind of, I don't know if it was an interview or not, I was like dragged onto something. But yeah, nobody's safe, So if you get vaguely involved with Freakstar, it's like Troll, if you like went and like probably did a comment on a Freakstar YouTube video, should probably want to should interview you. Should be like, oh Troll, yeah, I noticed you did a comment on one of our videos, and what was the inspiration? So yeah, she would take over. So yes, I'm just I wish I could get the background, like the fake, not fake, the green wall, evenly lit. That would be wonderful. And then that kind of, the side white-green bit, like actually more green with the light. That would be really good. That would make me happy. Something I'm going to work on. Well, I'm loving this live looping stuff. So we've done 4 live looping ideas. This is like really good. All of a similar vibe, which I quite like. So I need to change the vibe, don't I? We need to change the vibe up. So I think I've got an idea of what to do. Oh, you're back. I was just saying, Animaid, I used to live in Turkey for about, best part of a year. So I'm just, I'm thinking, right? So in my template, half of it's guitar and half of it's synths, because, I'm one of these guitarists who probably wanted to be like a synth guy, and then just ended up shredding. But I've always, from day one, absolutely been into sort of electronic music, and my first like metal band, I was obsessed with it, trying to make it sound like 90s rave. But so I've got a few things in the template that are sort of like inspirational. Like we could do like a bit of a preset splurge here. If I just grab one of these and switch my channel on. I love Exhale, it's really good. Well, I've played it more than 2 times, so I must be thinking about something here. That's not what I wanted. Just want that line. Oh, I think we're off again. Hold on. This might be an interesting view. Which line am I on? Alright. That was fun playing through all those loops. Very good. Yes. Let's go back to the garden. That was fun. Right. So, obviously, a lot going on here on this live looping stream broadcast. So, I wonder if has anybody got any questions? Get well, drink. I know. I mean, like I don't feel ill, but I had like a cold or flu, whatever, last week, and I just like I'm left with a tickly cough now, which is very inconvenient. Oh, I'll tell you what I've got. I've got non-alcoholic beer. Who's your favourite guitarist? Oof, that's a good question. I don't know. Anybody. Who's my favourite guitarist? Well, when I was younger, easy, because like it was like Paul Gilbert, Richie Kotzen, and all of those players I absolutely loved. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like a shrapnel guitarist. But now I appreciate lots and lots of different guitarists, all for different things. Yes, I haven't got a Hutch Thermos Flask. I need to get like the smaller original one that I had, not this one. But actually, yeah. That's good. So yeah, yeah, I like non-alcoholic beer. I mean, I never drink. Sorry, but right, what was that basic question? But there is no basic question. They're all good questions. So where was that basic? What was it? Who's your favourite player? So Paul Gilbert, Richie Kotzen. I've been really getting into some Alan Holdsworth, and I started going down the Messiaen scale rabbit hole, and then I came out of it because I thought I'm not quite there at this point in my life, and occasionally I dabble with melodic minor, but I'm not there with it. Ooh, sorry, burpee. I think Kiesel are great. I absolutely love Kiesel and polychrome are my two things. Everything on here is polychrome except the guitar synth thing, but that's actually neural DSP, but it's actually running into a polychrome amp. So it's a bit half and half, isn't it? So the shameless plug, right? Somebody was mentioning like, do I make music, finish music? Yes. So, I prolifically write music. I don't release as much actually these days because I'm much more focused in on my channel and just doing crazy missions like this, looping and stuff like that. And I'm really into just spreading the good word of all of the insights and things that I've learned over the past and kind of helping other people. So just to give anybody on here who doesn't know this, obviously I've been a shred guitarist all my life, but I had a dormant period where basically I produced dance music, and between 2014 and 19, because it sort of overlapped McRocklin Hutch, like I lost count. It was 122 tracks signed to different labels, all dance tunes. I charted it was 7 times. The highest I got to was in Track Source, which is a really good DJ. It's one of the big sort of DJ like Beatport thing. And I got to 4 in that. But regularly I was 22, 35. It was a dark time. Yeah. It was a great time actually because I learned a lot from doing that. I mean, like the first sort of like just sitting down and making music prolifically and getting it signed to labels was a big thing. All right, smart Alec, I'll tell you all about yeah, yes, I have spaces. So at the minute, I'm looking for, I mean, ideally, I need 8, hold on. For the next 3 months, I need like 8 coachees in total. However, the groups can run on. There's 2 groups, and there's a maximum of 4 people in a group. Okay, and what I teach you to do is basically how to write music better than you've ever made music before in less time. A lot of the kind of creative pain that you experience making music, I kind of take away. And what I do is I give you a process in which you can write and release tons of material. Now, when we talk about coaching, right, and this is a really important thing to understand, right, because I think coaching gets kind of confused and mixed up, right? Okay, so if we look at what is teaching, right? Teaching is installing a skill into somebody. So if I'm teaching you something, I'm going to teach you this lick or this scale, and it's like I open your head up and I tip it in, right? And then you go off and you've got that information and you learn it, okay? So that's a very undynamic way of learning, okay? Because how do you know that you need to learn that particular thing, okay? So teaching's one thing. And then you have consultancy. So consultancy is kind of then it's like mentoring. So there'll be mentoring programs. So mentoring's a bit like, this is you coming here and watching me in the studio and me going, well, this is how I do it. And then you could do it this way. So that's mentoring. Then you've got consultancy, which is like, this is what I did, and this is all the information you could use to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. And you could have a call with somebody who's consulting you, and they could put something together like an action plan for your career. So the problem with like that is if somebody's doing the consultancy thing and they're going, here is an action plan for you to make lots of music, say, and release loads of stuff, and this is the strategy, and you must stick to that. You didn't make that plan, all right? And inevitably what happens is people spend loads of money on getting a consultant, they get their action plan, and the consultancy thing gets mixed up with coaching, which I'll come to in a bit. You get an action plan, you didn't make that action plan, and therefore you start doing it, and then the minute something goes wrong in it, people tend to fall off, and then it's a disaster, okay? And you've wasted all your money, and it just becomes difficult. Then the coaching thing is the sort of top of all of this, right? Now, the thing about coaching is there are 2 different flavors, okay? There's directive coaching and non-directive, and I do both, okay? So if we're doing coaching in its purest form, as in non-directive, I don't tell you anything, right? You'll turn up, and I do this on one-to-one calls, and I use this actually coaching model called Nancy Kline's thinking environment. And what that's all about is me asking you questions, all right, that are going to help you solve a problem that you're having. So I don't tell you how to solve the problem, but what I do is I target questions. And a lot of the time what I'm doing is when something's kind of stopping you from doing something, what I tend to find when I'm coaching is it's, you'll identify a problem, but that isn't a problem. There's usually a problem lying underneath that or a few layers down, and the skill of the coach is to actually find what is the real bedrock problem that stops you from doing something, and then what I do is I then help you kind of come up with solutions to that problem. But fundamentally, as a coach, what I'm interested in is I'm just interested, right, in the skills that you already have now to make music, okay? I know and I believe, right, wholeheartedly that everybody here, okay, who comes to these sessions, watches me in the studio, I know that you too, okay, have ideas just as good as me. You have the skills now to make great music. You have the skills to make music as good as anybody else, all right? And the third one, which is my favourite thing, right, okay, there's actually 4. The third one is that you can make music under any circumstances. I do not buy into this idea of like, I'm not doing music today because I'm not in the zone, man, right? Okay, that doesn't have to be like that. All we have to do is turn up. I don't wait for inspiration, okay? I know if I sit down and I do the work and people see me do this, morning after morning, sitting down uninspired and going from uninspired to inspired because I sit down and I start the work, which doesn't then become work, okay? I'm rewarded with the good ideas, which is what the ancient Greeks used to say. They used to have the gods called the muse, who were all women. And they believed that if you sat down, okay, and started doing the work, then the gods would come along, the ladies, the women, and they would give you the ideas, and that would be the inspiration. So I don't wait about for inspiration. I know when I start, inspiration will come. I came on this live looping thing, and I thought, well, this is another stupid idea, right? I'm not into this. I'm not in the zone, man. But I knew as soon as I go on the live and I come in here, inspiration hits, and it just happens, and I allow it to happen, and I don't be, I'm not judgmental over the quality of ideas. But fundamentally, coaching is all about the skills that you already have. And that's where you get the maximum leverage, because anybody can make amazing music, okay? You want to learn to shred on a tambourine? Highly possible. I couldn't help you there, though. So, fundamentally, yeah, you're using your skills. And then the other thing I do is when you come onto a coaching group, there's 4 of you in there, and what I use is I suppose the foundation of this is it's the music machine, all right, and I'll show you what that is, because this is the clever bit, all right. Let me demonstrate. Which one's this? Right, okay, so I can take you through this one. So this is Trello. I mean, it's a software project management tool, isn't it? In fact, Chosen's on here, he'll know all about this. If you look at this, going, oh god, it's like being at work, this. So basically we have here creativity modularized, all right? So in other words, when we're thinking about being creative, we have divergent thinking and convergent thinking. If we're divergently thinking, we're thinking that all ideas are possible. And as I say, when we start an idea, we don't want to be limiting ourselves. We want to be making music without judgment. So, and I call this is splurging. So I make lots of ideas, lots of shit music. I just allow myself to make crap, and I put it in here. And then what happens is I don't listen to it for 3 to 7 days. And after that time, then I decide on whether there's something that interests me, that gets me excited. And if I get like a twinge of excitement, it goes into discovery. And then this discovery is another music session that you do. And in discovery, what we're trying to do is answer the question of you could hear the splurges, but I'm not going to play any today. Discovery is all about asking yourself, what does the music, what does the music want to be? There is no I. We don't design. We discover the music. So the music is almost like a separate entity to us. So we always I always try and avoid designing. Okay, there's a lot of designy music out there, but what we want to find something that's unique, and to get that, we'll have to sort of abandon ourselves to this idea that music is almost a living thing outside of ourselves. I know that sounds a bit woo, but fundamentally, there's we do a discovery. We just try and discover what the music wants to be, and then we'll have draft. And drafting is really all about just structuring it. We're not looking at quality. We're looking at how, from our discovery sessions, that we can make a beginning, middle, and end that reflects what the purpose of the music wants to be. So inevitably, you might splurge with a story in mind, but then you might go to discovery if you didn't have a story when you're splurging. And there's Ice King, how you doing? And Belt Rock, how's it going? you might find in discovery a story starts to emerge, and then in draft we're trying to like kind of take people on that emotional journey across time. Done is just a place we leave music for 7 days, and then when we listen to it, we think, this music, is it a good, does it know what it wants to be? If it does, then it can go into release, and when you're in release, that's the convergent thinking, and in that, when we're releasing music, we're mixing it, or whatever you need to do, re-recording parts, polishing it, and getting it ready, and I love the terminology of connecting your music to the outside world, because when you think about it, when we're mixing a piece of music, fundamentally what we're doing is we're connecting it ready for the public to have a listen to. So that's sort of the overview. Now, because we've got sort of this project management tool, what it allows you to do, right, is to work on multiple ideas all at the same time. So, for example, I can go, I don't want to do any mixing today. I'm going to do some splurging, so I can just fill this up with splurges. There shouldn't be as many as this in this column, by the way. Sometimes I might think, I don't want to do anything outrageous and think of crazy ideas. I really need to do some mixing, so I can do some convergent stuff here. Or I might decide to do some listening and see if I can move any of these ideas on into release, or maybe they go here into the sketchbook. You see, you never throw anything out. You keep all your ideas. Other times, it might be great. I've really been loving splurging, but I've got enough splurges. Let's do some discovery sessions. So you can do these sessions, and you can work on multiple ideas, at the same time. I mean, like my part of the first Riding Out McRocklin Hutch album was done in 8 weeks. All those tracks, 8 weeks. And it was just using this system. It was so fast and so rapid. So I've been using this since 2017, I think. But it works great. So when you come to like coaching with me, like fundamentally what happens is, you'll start your machine, and what I do is I just take you through different sort of creative games to play. All right, okay, so it doesn't. So, Mac, coaching lessons, use Ableton? No. So you can use whatever you feel comfortable making music on. Okay, so you could even use just hardware if you wanted. It's not important. It isn't an Ableton Live or any DAW kind of lesson. You just come on the call with me, and I just take you through some kind of games that you play, which give you insights into your process. And then you go away for the week and you practice that process, and then we come back and we review what you've done, do any course correcting, and then we move on to the next section of the machine till you kind of have it down. So if anybody's, if you're really interested in coaching, okay, and you want to find more about it, send me an email. So the email's in the description, and it's also in the about. Join the Discord as well, and you can send an email to me, and we can have just a free one-to-one chat for half an hour, see where you're up to with your music making project, and then see if this is appropriate for you, if you want to do. And then you can, by all means, join a coaching group. So this is how much the coaching costs. So what you get when you join is basically you pay $237 per month, and we meet for 2 hours every week, and in that 2 hours we make music, and I coach you through that process. Stream keeps buffering here, just to let you know. Right, okay. Might be your phone, yeah. I mean, it seems to be running stream here, like fine here, the stream. I've got a super fast connection as well, and I'm running it at a moderate bit rate. It's fine here, good troll. So, $237. You get to join the coaching, and you get 2 hours of me in a group of 4. Okay, thereabouts. and it's amazing, and you will make tons of music in less time. Really, you only need about 45 minutes a day to be able to do this. Um, but it's a game changer. And I remember when I first got coached, and I just remember when I got that thing where I was making lots of music, and I just woke up one day and I realised, after my first couple of releases, I just felt different, and I was like, you know what, I'm in the game. I'm a producer, unlike everybody else who like I've admired, and um, I'm kind of, as a creative, it's not, because success isn't measured to me in money. It's how you feel about yourself and what you're doing. And I had that validation, and I woke up one day, and when I realized that, it was absolutely brilliant. And out of everything that I've done, I've been classically trained. I've had 3 guitar teachers a week. I've been shredding all my life. I've been, I've done all sorts of stuff, right? Been taught all kind of things, and the one thing that actually gave me the most leverage was coaching. And there's Ice King. Highly recommend the coaching sessions. They transform my musical mind in a way I don't think I could have done myself, and the group environment is great. So there you go. Ice King has done the sessions, and he is absolutely brilliant. You have to check him out because he has his Twitch channel. So thank you, Ice King. So yes, and the cool thing about Ice King is he did the program using his Porter Studio. So we don't. The other thing about it is nobody hears each other's music, and this is the wonderful thing about coaching as well, is that there isn't any differentiation. You could be not a complete beginner. I mean, you have to know your way about your door and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. Somebody like I could have Steve Vai, right, and then I could have somebody else who's just made one track in the life in the same coaching group, and that wouldn't affect anything. The differentiation isn't. The coaching doesn't say that. Unlike education would be a different thing, wouldn't it? So there's no differentiation. You can just anybody can kind of do this. It doesn't matter if you're a shredder or if you're just an electronic music producer with no skills, or you're a singer or stuff like that. It doesn't matter. Eminem could do with the coaching. Yeah, that would be good. Having said that, if the group thing isn't for you, and maybe you're making lots of music, but you do have some challenges, you have some problems that you're not sure of how to overcome, then I would highly recommend a one-to-one coaching session. So I do an hour, and it's $75. And I can coach you through any problems that you want. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I know I've gone on quite a bit about the coaching thing. There's probably loads of people have left and gone, oh, it's boring. I know, kept the. So all right, is there? What do you want to talk about while I'm here? While I'm in the secret garden? Tell you what, I've really enjoyed looping today. I am so relieved that I've kind of got it cracked to this point. So wins, problems, and opportunities. So one thing I do in the coaching is I always go through everybody's wins, problems, and opportunities. And whenever you review your progress, doing this is a great way. It's one of the ways to review. It's not the only way, but on a day-to-day basis, doing your wins, problems, and opportunities is a great way to review you in the process. Okay. The best way to kind of feedback and review your music, that's a different matter kind of altogether. But so what I like to do is just, what went well, and what went well is that basically I could, without stopping anything, I could lay down, a number of tracks and jam over it, and it was really, I was highly entertained about it, and I'm hoping you guys thought it was all right, but I was having a ball, really enjoying it. And I haven't really practiced much on this system. I gave it one go last night very quickly, and I thought, right, this is it. This is how to do it. and I've just run with the ball today, really. But there are some things that I probably need to do on it. So I think like one thing I need to do is I need to have a look at, and this is really small stuff. So I think kick drum length is an interesting one. So when I look at the drums, like that's just filling like all the low end out ridiculously with bass. So I think what I like to do is get let me see. Let's just go here. BST3, and we want what is it? Shaper. Shaper box 3. I mean, there are other things you can do this with. I'm going with Shaper box 3, and what I'm going to do. Sorry, just moving windows out of the way. Is I'm going to drop it on my kick channel. So I think I'll drop it here. And on here, I'm going to get the volume. And then on the volume, I'm going to set this so it reads the audio. So this is basically a volume envelope. And unfortunately, right, okay. So this is just like a volume envelope. And what we can do is we can limit how long the kick is with it. So it's on 1 bar. Let's go for that. So something like that's more desirable. Unfortunately, it's put 20 milliseconds onto this project, so I can't use that. I've got to think of a different way of doing this. So that's like one of my mixing techniques. So what I'll do is I'll find some sort of like zero latency volume shaper that I can use to kind of sort that out. I bet Chosen knows of one. Zero latency volume shaper. I mean, there's LFO too. So I've got that. LFO tool. Or maybe I don't. Oh, I don't have it anymore. I'll find something. Okay, so I'm just about coming to the end of the stream. I'm getting tired now. So as I say, anybody who's interested in coaching, just send me an email and we can have a one-to-one. Also, anybody who's on here who's not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That would be amazing. And then also join my Discord. There's a link somewhere on the channel. It'd be great to see people in there talking and stuff like that. And there's free stuff. I mean, at the minute, like if you're on Discord, you can book in for a half an hour free coaching, one-to-one free coaching session with me just to see. Because I think one thing is about coaching is if you're unsure of what it is, just experience it. Just come along, and I'll do a one-to-one. All right, thank you, Amanda, and everybody else. It's been I really appreciate you coming on. Now, I think the next stream will be, I think it's going to be either No, it's not tomorrow morning. It's going to be a Thursday evening. So there's a Thursday evening stream and probably a Friday morning. All right then. So I will see everybody hopefully tomorrow night. All right then. Catch you later. Bye.